OMG BBG! What up BBGs? Welcome back to another unboxing video. Today we have Hasbro goods and it's SpeedStorm stuff. So Beyblade Burst Surge, Raid Luinor L6. We said this multiple times, Raid Longinus from Beyblade Burst Sparking is probably one of our favorite releases. And this right here, it better be good. I'm telling you, it better be good. There's no metal in the energy layer, but I'm still expecting great things.
So it is a SpeedStorm Beys, so that means we are getting some taller drivers and stuff like that. Hopefully we see the original come back in the Pro Series format, but for now we have the SpeedStorm Season 5 release, so yeah.
If they don't bring back Raid Longinus in a Pro Series release, they're flopping so hard. Seriously, like one of the best Sparking Beys in my opinion. It just makes every battle super fun. So let's take a look at the back of the box to see what's going on with this. Yeah, of course, it is a left spin. It's an attack type. So you can see here for the energy layer, no metal really, like it doesn't point to anything. If there was metal, I'm sure they'd have a little label saying, you know, metal incorporated into there, right? Because they would say it's a feature. We have a D84 disc and it says right up top there, fuse attack power. So this is like the Hasbro version of the chassis part, which is of course a little bit nerfed, but whatever, right? Still better than just a regular disc. For the performance set, we get a TSP05-M, super long name, but we get a metal and extended length driver.
So you don't got metal on the top, but you got metal at the bottom.
Yep. Heavy metal hit is what they tried to promote there for that driver. It's like a destroy driver with metal on it, right? It looks really, really long.
Yeah, so these SpeedStorm Beys are a lot taller, so they battle a bit differently compared to the original.
If you take a look at the stats, we have here 10 in attack, right? That makes sense. 3 in burst, 0 in defense, 10 in weight, and we have 4 in agility, 2 in stamina. So for an attack type, makes sense. I'm very surprised that the attack stat is not more than 10 because they've done that before for other stats. And Raid Longinus usually hits really hard. So Raid Luinor, I got some really big expectations. So hopefully this doesn't disappoint. And right before we get started with this unboxing, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and turn on those notifications. Also, you can find us on Instagram at Geek Dosage and on TikTok at BeybladeGeeks Official. And one last thing, we have our merch out, right? So go check it out on our Teespring store or in the merch shelf below this video if you want to rock this sick hoodie. Let's go. This better be really cool.
Yeah, so Longinus with its kind of like special gimmick was that the chassis lined up completely with the layer for that ultimate upper attack, right?
It was like so sick. Typical launcher. So here is Raid Luinor L6 inside the game. It does look pretty good. You can see here that the chassis is 3A-D.
So it's kind of interesting because like I think it would make a lot more sense to just name the whole part 3A instead of D84. It just makes things a bit more concise and like you don't need two names, right?
Yeah.
Especially when the original one is already called 3A.
Exactly. It's not like the chassis has like an actual letter name, you know what I mean? Like it's not Raid or whatever it is, right? Like it's just more letters and numbers.
And then for the driver or performance tip, we have Destroyer-SPM. So it's a SpeedStorm Destroyer tip. That name kind of makes sense for the AKA part. So yeah, you got metal in there. It's a lot taller because it is a SpeedStorm Bey meant to battle really quick and hard in the stadium.
So here are all the parts for Raid Luinor L6. Let's start off with the chip. The chip, honestly, nothing special, right? Like it does have the code on the back. The colors look very similar to the original, so that's nice. But other than that though, nothing fancy here, guys. You're used to seeing this already.
It is a slope system, so it's not going to do too much for you, even if you switch out the chip.
For the ring, we have here, man, no metal on the dragon heads. That's always disappointing. We haven't seen metal on the dragon head in like forever for Hasbro. It does retain the original shape, which is cool, but they didn't even put in the details for like the eyes on the dragon head. Like normally, you know, you get some red eyes there, right? Don't even get that.
So just cross our fingers for that Pro Series remake.
Yo, they better, I swear, they better. It's one of the sickest Sparking Beys for sure. Probably the most exciting part is this fuse disc. So it gives us that fused attack power, as Hasbro says. It is definitely a nerfed version compared to the original 3A chassis, but overall though, it retains its shape, right? So it's not too bad, still better than a regular disc. You guys can see here that it does have those two specific points that slope downwards that is meant to line up with the actual ring itself. So when we put that bay together, let's see if it actually does that or not. So it does look pretty cool. For that performance tip, we have that TSP05-M. So of course, -M standing for metal, right? So this is destroy or destroyer. And yeah, wow, it's just so much taller than your typical destroy driver because it does have that added metal portion, right? It looks really well integrated, right? It does add quite a bit of weight. I don't know about the whole height thing though, you know what I mean? Like I prefer to have the bays nice and low, especially if you're trying to like swoop underneath, right? And get that upper attack in to destabilize the other bay. I don't know how effective this is going to be against, you know, some other Hasbro tops and stuff. Let me see. Okay, so you guys getting a good look of it. Ooh, from here. It doesn't line up very well, not gonna lie.
It's not protruding enough.
Yeah, it's just how the design is of the Hasbro Bay. There's just no way, right? Like the chassis is not big enough to actually raise up and make contact with the blades on top where the ring is. So they like kind of line up, they're in the same direction, but nowhere near this level. Look at that, just like completely integrated together, right? It's just a huge difference there. Raid Luinor L6, how much does it weigh?
45.99.
45, okay. So it's pretty much 46. This is just Super Hyperion, just compare.
48.7.
Dude, not even as heavy as a Super Hyperion. That's kind of sad. Yeah, there's like so much metal on this guy versus like just a portion of it is. And here's Raid Longinus. Let's get the whole thing on there.
67.7.
Yep, so like over 20 grams heavier for that original. Okay, test spin in our Volt Knockout Bay Stadium. 3, 2, 1, let it.
So this is a SpeedStorm Stadium. Probably one of the best Hasbro stadiums actually.
Yeah, it's actually really fun. Especially with the Takeratomi ones. Okay, yeah, not moving around too much in this stadium. Destroy normally does move quite a bit in like a typical round stadium, so maybe if you use it in like a Pro Series stadium, like the Elite Champions one, this one might behave more like the original. But let's do some test battles.
The tip of that driver is a lot taller, so that's probably why. It's not riding on the disc as much.
3, 2, 1.
Good jump.
Double left spin here. Pretty big weight difference because that original color for King Helios or Colossal Helios is the lightweight one.
Pretty wide too.
3, 2, 1. Ooh, equalized a bit. Opposite spin. 3, 2, 1.
Heavier Helios.
Oh, the heavier Helios is destroying. 3, 2, 1. Oh, the jump. Yo, why is Curse the Tomb doing so much damage?
Yo, it's so stable too.
Wow.
Let's try that again.
3, 2, 1. Take it. Yeah, this performance tip, man, like it's nice that it has the metal, but it's just not aggressive enough for like an attack type bay. It really doesn't move very much.
Yeah, it's pretty wobbly.
But even when it gets into the surge zone, it doesn't really move.
Longinus definitely has an advantage if it's lower, so you can get that upper attacks easily.
Okay, BBGs, that is it for our unboxing on Raid Luinor L6. So let us know down in the comments what you guys think of this bay. Since it is SpeedStorm, there is quite a few changes, obviously. Now, let us know, right? Are you gonna get it or not? Overall, the bay is like pretty cool still, right? Like the fused disc and then the added metal on the SpeedStorm driver is pretty cool. Don't expect it to perform as well as the original Raid Longinus, obviously, right? It doesn't hit as hard. The disc doesn't really line up with the ring and anything like that. But I think it's still worth the pickup, right? Just to have a Raid Luinor L6. Like, just the name itself, I think it's worth picking it up. But yeah, I think it definitely needs a little bit of customization, for sure. Alright, like this video, subscribe, and as always, geeks out!